Back in 1821, the Montgomery Canal ran from North Shropshire to Newtown in mid-Wales, and its history is well documented. In 2013, Inland Waterways Association members and friends put on their walking boots, boarded a bus and decided to take a look at exactly what remains of this vital artery.
Redesign the actual lock part that was there to make it a more permanent structure. We actually get down to the canal 1862. Rimbo is up by Wrexham, and of course it's a lovely cast iron girder, isn't it? Well, it's well preserved.
At Aberbecan, a sturdy masonry aqueduct still carries the canal over the Becan Brook. The remains of the freestone lock mark the start of the dry section into Newtown. Some of the canal's water came from the River Severn at the two-tier Penarth Weir.
No, it's my dad there.
That's your dad there, right. So what was his name?
George Evans.
George Evans. And what did George do then?
Lockkeeper here in the lockhouse, yeah.
You were brought up in the cottage?
I was born there in the lockhouse.
Yeah?
June Evans.
Right.
Yeah.
So what can you remember about
I was there till I was 16, yeah. And
was there many boats going up and down at that time?
a few, yeah. Well, as I say, I don't know when that was taken.
Yeah.
But,
and what were they carrying? What was the cargo?
limestone, I think. Lime.
Yeah.
My father moved from Welshampton up to here with 5 brothers and sister, and then I was born here, but they were born in Welshampton.
You must have been a bit crowded in that little cottage.
It was. It didn't quite like that. Now it's been modernised, isn't it?
A pump powered by a huge undershot water wheel lifted water into the Summit Pound from the River Severn.
And there was a weir just above the house, and there's a waterway which runs down and underneath this house. And so then it would feed and undershoot the water wheel. That in turn obviously rotated, and there was an offset crank which drove the pistons of the pump, sucking the water through the tube from the river and into the canal. And then just a little bit further down, maybe 40 metres, there's actually an overspill, and you can still make it out. There's a lot of steps which actually then went down into the river. So it's filled and emptied here. So I mean, this being like the highest point of the canal.
And sadly that's the last real trace of the canal, which closed in the 1930s. But our pub lunch venue stands where a pub stood back in the canal working era, on the edge of Newtown's huge terminus basin, which is now completely obliterated beneath housing.